everyone, and welcome to Beyond Borders, the show that helps you navigate the world seamlessly without stress, and where we share updates and insights in the travels industries, right? Whether you are a traveler or a student or a worker, or you just want to relocate to any part of the world, or you are like Dora the Explorer, you want to explore the world, we got you covered, and we'll be breaking down the best and easy way to travel across the world. Alright, my name is Paul Smith, and I'll be your host for today. And today's episode, like you all know, we'll be looking at easy steps and ways of how to navigate the world, right? And today I will not be doing this alone. Joining me on this platform is a travel expert with over 5 years of experience in the travel industry, right? Let's make welcome Mr. Wale Unisa. Welcome, Mr. Wale. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How's it been?
Fine.
Great. It's a pleasure having you here after a very long time. So, how does it feel to be our first guest in Beyond Travels with these travels? How does it feel?
Well, I would say I feel very blessed. I feel great. And, I can do more of this.
Yeah. That's the reason why we are putting this to open the eyes of people, travelers, on the easy ways on how to navigate the world, right? Yeah. So, tell me, how many countries have you traveled to so far in your years of experience in the travel industry?
I've not actually traveled much. I've been to the neighboring country. I've been to Benin Republic. I've been to Cameroon. I've been to Togo. I've been to South Africa. Yeah. So enjoy the neighboring country per se.
That's great. That's great. I've been also opportunity to travel to some African countries.
Yeah, Ghana as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to travel to what's it called, South Africa. Like, so once again, you're welcome to Beyond Travels with this travels and like we all know, the topic for today is exploring the world without stress, how to travel with ease, right? So we believe that in this topic we'll be able to open the eyes of our viewers and everyone listening to us on the easy ways to navigate travels, right? That's what we want to achieve. So let's just jump into the business of the day, right? I believe you are set.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. So, what does it mean to travel without restriction? What does it mean to travel without restriction?
Thank you once again, the host. What it simply means is that a situation whereby you travel to any destination without limitations or companies, countries countries requirement doesn't disturb you in any way. You understand? So, and you're able to navigate wherever you want to go. Things like a visa requirement, health checks and bans, and also probably quotas placed on the number of people that need to enter that particular country. So, with that, for you to be able to travel, you don't need to go through particular orders again. So it means you are traveling without stress.
Well, so it simply means your ability to move from one country to the other
with no limitation.
Yeah,
with no limitation.
Yeah, right.
That's government policy. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of people, they want to travel. They have. I feel like I can visit Paris. I want to visit Dubai, but they don't really know how to. They just have these desires, right? So, what are those common misconceptions about visa-free travel? What are those misconceptions?
Yeah.
That we think that maybe when you just travel, what are those things that people don't really get when it comes to travels?
the misconception is usually when they hear visa-free countries, they feel like I can just pack my bag and then voila, I'm in that country with no hustle. But that's no, that's enough. That's the way it should be. But that is just on paper. But in reality, in the actual sense, it's not like that. There are still some kind of a limitation, at least. That
So
you still need
paperwork
to.
that you need to do.
Yes,
in
there's
as
some
much as there are
documents,
free
some
countries.
documentation like if you're going traveling to some Africa, some visa-free countries, they may require you to get an ETA. For example, traveling to Kenya is
What's an
visa-free
ETA, sorry?
ETA is electronic travel authorization, and you still need to pay some certain amount of money. So that's kind of a limitation that you experience in that regard. There are some other documents like what do you call it, a yellow card, vaccination card, and some other documentation like that, which of course will limit your ability to be able to travel. For a layman that doesn't know all this, will have gone to that country, they may actually not allow you entry into that country. Gaining an access is one thing, and telling you that you have a visa-free, you are a visa-free country with your passport as with your passport. But another thing is granting you access to that particular country. There are some documentation that are required as well. So those are the things that entities that we still have right now.
All right, very, very good. That's awesome.
Those documents are easily accessible, but we just want to let you know that it's not actually that.
That's free. You can just
as
go
well.
from your house and just enter. In as much as they are free visa-free countries, there are some documentation.
Imagine like you want to go to St. Kitts and Nevis and also Barbados. There's also limitations. You cannot there is no flight available for you to go to St. Kitts direct. You still need to have probably American visa or UK visa to be able to access some of these countries or Schengen visa. You understand? So those are the limitations. So until we start having a flight that will take you directly to that destination, and with no little hassle or less documentation, then you can say you now have you are visa-free country, visa-free country with your passport. You understand? So.
Right. I really get that point, right? So, in as much as they are visa-free, there are requirements you have to meet before you are able to have access to those countries, right? I believe you are getting this, right? In as much as you are visa-free, there are requirements that you need to have before accessing these countries. Now, let's look at what's it called? Visa-free and easy destinations that we can that one can go to, countries that you can visit visa-free, and how to maximize these countries, right? How to maximize. We know that there are some countries that for some citizens they are visa-free, right? So how do one maximize this opportunity?
As in Nigeria, we have access to 45 countries, visa-free country, to actually be able to explore. Some of which are those ones I mentioned earlier. Yeah, we have, like I said, because I know that Nigeria is a visa-free country to the NATO. That was how I was able to visit the Republic, to Ghana, to Togo, to Senegal, to West African country, and then some Antarctica island too. Some Caribbean islands too, like Barbados, like St. Kitts and the likes. But like I said, there are still limitations. There are people that actually want to explore that country, but right now they are only meant for the well-known individual and the people that has a lot of money, the elite people. So we also will want to be able to explore those parts of the world. But there is, like I said, there is still limitations. So right. Government should do something so that we can have a fleet that will fly from here to those countries without getting to have a visa of other countries before you can make to access that.
Alright, that's good. So you mentioned some African countries that Nigeria can have free access, right? What about people that are not Nigerians? We are, apart from ECOWAS, we have the United Nations, right? They have their own their own countries that they can visit. Which of the, you never made mention of that?
Yeah, Nigeria can actually explore the world. There's no limit to where you can go. So far, you have your money, you can actually travel far and wide. We have our Schengen countries. There are 29 numbers. If you have if you have one of them, you can be able to access the whole 29 countries.
Just with one
Schengen visa, you are can be able to access the whole 29 countries with a limited number of time. Like for example, for a tourist visa for a Schengen country, usually 90 days. And you are allowed to stay in one particular entry for 30 days. You understand? So it's expected of you to be able to travel around within those 30 days. Though it's usually 90 days visa. You understand? So it's for tourist purpose. But if you want more, that I think we are getting to that topic. But if you want more, there are quite a number of visa categories you can actually explore. If you want to stay longer.
We are getting to that. We are getting to that. So what are the alternative visas and residency options? So in as much as we want to travel to different parts of the world, right? But there are channels. You can't just, there are reasons before they will allow you to come into their country. They must know the reason or your purpose of coming, right? So what are those channels that we can easily that will grant us access to these countries? Now I think we have what's it called, students routes, we have tourist routes, we have investment routes, right? So can you just share light on
yes, thank you very much. For you to, like I said, majorly visas are thrown open to the whole world, but majorly for you to come and explore, see the beautiful nature, and then have a feel of the culture and diversity in that particular country. But there are categories to visas. If you want to explore and then come back to our country, the best is tourist visa. But if you are Japan, you want to relocate, there are ways you can relocate. There are different categories of visa that you can relocate. One being the work visa, whereby you go online, look for job, they send you a job offer. With that, you can be able to apply for visa and then relocate. At least that grants you a maximum of 2 to 5 years.
5 years.
Anytime. So there's one that we call resident visa. Resident visa, then there is investment visa too. Investment by property that you have, or investment by finance, whereby you invest in that country, just like Tyler did. He paid $150,000 to get a St. Kitts and Nevis visa. He's a citizen of Nigeria. He's also a citizen of St. Kitts as we speak. And so he's a resident by investment that he applied for. So also he is now on a long-term visa. He's now relocating. He's already living in Portugal as we speak, in Lisbon, Portugal, on a resident visa too. You understand? So those are the kind of visa categories and options that are open to if you want to Japan or study routes. That will guarantee you also a long-term access to that country and be able to work freely with little limitations. So our family reunion, maybe you have your family member over there and bring your wife or your spouse over there, and you want to go and meet the person. So that will give you a rest of mind. You are not going as a tourist, but you're going there to stay. So immigration people or the government officials won't be looking for your partner. You'll be free.
So when it comes to family reunion, which visa route is
family
there?
visa, yeah.
Family visa.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have work permits, we have tourists.
In short, most countries has their own. Some different countries have their own list of visa categories.
Okay, different countries, different
visa categories.
Wow.
In short, some countries don't have a medical visa. countries like India, countries like Dubai, medical visa.
visas.
You understand? So there are different countries, different visa categories for different countries. And even Portugal has what do you call it, job seeker visa, whereby you go in there and then they will grant you a permit to that particular country, and then for 3 months for you to get a job. Then you now from there change your status. And so there's such visa. Even Germany is doing it right now. There are some other countries too. So like I said, there are different categories of visa for different countries, just to actually attract people to come and experience.
So you can't just join any. You can't just join any country. There must be a route, a visa route that you are applying for.
Make sure you get denial if you actually make that mistake. I've seen people making such mistake whereby you want to do an F1 visa and you do B1 B2. You fail B1 B2 on it. It's another way of rejecting your visa. One choice of a visa category.
Let me quickly ask the question. F1 visa, you said?
F1 visa, that's a student visa for UK. For US, for US is F1 visa. So if you now want to fill your form, you now put probably B1 or B2. B1, B2 is a tourist and visitor visa. And so you have, and if you are going for short courses, that's M visa, M category. That's you have to, when you're filling your form, those are things you look out to. So that's why most people, because of the little challenges, they need to express service of the expert in that regard, to see them out and consultant in that regard. So those are the common mistakes, and then that can cost you.
That's our next question. That's our next question, right? Challenges and how to overcome them. What are those challenges that the restrictions we are talking about? So how do we overcome these restrictions? Let me quickly list up some of the restrictions, right? We have visa rejection, right? We have immigration policies. They stop you not being able to meet up to the requirements of the country, right? And also cultural and financial barriers. So how do one to play in the global space, right? You need to overcome these barriers. So how do one overcome these barriers?
Yes, one of, like I said, one of the reasons for that rejection is what I just mentioned, and we have quite a number of them. You have an incomplete application. If you don't complete the application, you can another avenue, or incomplete documentation, insufficient fund, criminal history. Criminal history. You have them like that. So that can affect your visa issuance. And for you to be able to grant your visa at some point, most times. So if you need to work on your documentation, you need to know at every country's requirement. That's why when people ask me, I first of all send that requirement to them, and then we look at it together, get to the one you have, let me know, the one you don't have, if I can assist with, we help you get them. Then you collect this document, do your application, pay for your appointment, then you go for the appointment, and you submit. Once your document is genuine, and then your document is genuine and your passport is not damaged. Passport damage is can be part of the rejection. You understand? Visa rejection can cause you visa rejection. So once everything is intact, you have higher chances of visa approval.
So what about?
So that's for the visa rejection. Then you mentioned immigration policies. Like I said, if you are on a tourist visa and you want to Japan, it's not going to work for you. If you want to experience immigration policy, or people running after you on the street while working, better you go for the ones I mentioned earlier. Like you go on a work visa, you know you're working for a particular company, you have the permit with you, work with the permit here up and down, so in case you are asked. Or you go on a study visa, or you go on humanitarian asylum. Humanitarian asylum, you go on an asylum, you get to asylum and you live there freely with no hassle. You understand? So those are the ways in which you can travel with no limitation to what the government policy of that particular country. You understand? So, and you mentioned finances and cultural this thing.
Cultural barriers.
Cultural barrier, me, I don't think everybody should worry about it. I think the major one is that
It's
finance. At least if I live in the country for a while, I should be able to adapt with their norms. You understand? But the major one is the finance. So if you know you want to travel, try and set your budget right. And do things that will not make you spend out of your budget, out of that particular budget you set for how much I want to spend, and you've done your necessary assignment. So have different options. First, you have a budget. This is how much I have with me, and I want to go for this country.
So
Fine,
let
they
me
can't
go
you.
quickly ask. Now we're talking about finance, right? So now, for someone that wants to relocate to another country, now, how much do you think the person should be looking at? Let's look at UK for instance. Let's look at UK for instance. For someone that wants to relocate to the UK, what should the person consider as what's it called? What they have in their account?
But seriously speaking, we can't place a figure on that because back to Naira, you are expected to have at least minimum of that, at least that amount or more in that bank statement.
Wow.
You understand? So if they assume that the living cost for that part for your stay is running to 20,000 pounds, that means you have to have like equivalent of that 20,000 pounds as your balance, as your running balance in your bank statement. You understand? For you to be able to at least have a higher chances of visa approval. You understand? So once that is clear, they will allow you, okay, this one has a very buoyant bank statement, then you are going to access. But I think the question is not for someone that wants to actually relocate. For someone that already granted visa, relocate, how he lives his life there is not on nobody. But for someone that wants to travel and then go on a budget, is what we're talking about right now. You want to travel and go on a budget, advice you set up, priority right, get a fair deal from the airlines. You understand? Look for a cheaper airline. Don't say I must go with a particular airline. So far the airline is going that route, and you offer a cheaper fare, and you know that the cancellation policy or any policy on it is favorable, it's fair enough. So go for it. Then once you get there, you don't rent a car. You don't do a rental car. Where alternatively you can actually jump the bus or use the tram or the train. Those are budget friendly.
We are also getting to budgets, right? We still get to it. But before we get to budgeting, right? So because I think I've heard of global citizens, people that are able to travel without restriction. So how do one get to that level where you are able to travel the whole world without restrictions and all? I think I've seen something like that.
Yeah, that's one of the things I mentioned. The person I mentioned earlier, sorry, excuse me, that's Tyler Eno. He's a global citizen. Because with two passports in his hand, and already got him access to like 80% of the country.
Wow.
That major country that you think of going, me and you think of going, is going there fully with that passport, with no documentation. He doesn't need to go to embassy with that passport. He access with the Senkit passport.